Hello and welcome to another Meal Ideas episode where I share some meal and recipe ideas that hopefully you can share with your families. These were all delicious. So we made a lemon pasta shrimp recipe, some turkey chili, and also we made a root vegetable au gratin. So let's get started with this week's recipes. This recipe is a root vegetable au gratin, and it is on the left there. Those are celery root, which I have never bought before, didn't know what they were, so that was new to me. So it's celery root, baking potato, sweet potato, parsnips, Parmesan cheese, some milk. Recipe does call for cream, but I used milk because that was what I had on hand. So I'm just mixing in the salt and some ground white pepper and some nutmeg into this milk, and then I'm going to whisk that up. As you saw, I already buttered my pan that I'm going to use to bake this in. And the vegetables, you're going to want to slice those up into about an 1/8 inch thickness. I used my mandolin to slice them and it went really quickly and really easily. So first you want to layer the baked potato down, and I kind of overlap them a little bit. And then we're going to put on a little bit of that cream mixture. The next layer is the parsnips. I'm getting hungry just watching this. This meal was delicious. This vegetable au gratin was incredible. Absolutely loved it. So here are the sweet potatoes. And then some chopped up chives. And I'm using this whole container, but I'm putting about half of it on this layer, and then I will top the whole thing with the other half. So probably in total it's a cup of Parmesan cheese. The recipe calls for half a cup, but I love some cheese. And now this layer is the celery root. This recipe is from a family member, and I think they got it from their hairdresser. So it's been passed around. And now I'm topping another layer with the baked potato. So kind of sandwiching the whole thing in with the baked potato. And then I'm using up all the rest of that cream mix that I made. And I do throw on a little bit more nutmeg and white pepper, because why not? And some more chives and the rest of the cheese. And then I cover it in tin foil and bake it at 400 degrees for an hour. For the last 15 minutes, I would take off the cover so you get a little browning on top, but boy oh boy, was this incredible and delicious and amazing. We had the au gratin with a baked turkey that we made. I'll leave the recipes down below. This is a turkey chili recipe. So we have 1 can of fire roasted diced tomatoes and 2 cans of chicken broth. I'm using some leftover turkey that we had from a previous meal. You could do this after Thanksgiving with your leftover turkey. And there's a can of tomato soup in there as well. I'm adding 1 can of red kidney beans that I did drain and rinse. And then 2 spoonfuls of minced garlic. Some cayenne spice. And I typically eyeball everything, but I'll have the exact measurements down below that I got from the recipe that inspired me. I have some Italian seasoning, some ground pepper, some crushed red pepper, and some chili powder, and cumin. I'm going to be cutting up 4 stalks of celery. Add that to the soup and give it a good stir. Now I'm going to dice up 1 red bell pepper. I think that's why I really like this chili. It's just a little different and not as many beans. I'm not a huge bean fan, so I like the red pepper in there. I like the celery. And you'll see me add a jalapeno. I like that as well. I like it spicy, so if you don't want the spice, I would probably leave out some of the cayenne and definitely leave out the jalapeno. But now I'm just putting in a diced white onion, half of it. But the crushed red pepper could also give it the kick, so you could leave that out as well if you don't like spicy. Now I'm just cutting up the leftover turkey that we had. This turkey was from a meal we made with the Vegetable Au Gratin recipe, and we made that turkey because of finding it on sale after Thanksgiving and not having a ton of leftovers after Thanksgiving, so that is why we're having Thanksgiving basically 2 weeks in a row. Or Thanksgiving. Turkey! Now I am dicing up that jalapeno, wearing the gloves to protect myself from touching my eyes on accident. Trying to get all the seeds out is kind of a pain sometimes, but I love jalapeno. Then I'm going to add in half of a block of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. It was really delicious. It was very spicy again, so keep that in mind when looking at the recipe, but we loved it. I actually ended up freezing half of that we can have again in a month or so. And I end up adding a little bit of cheese on top and my favorite oyster crackers that I add to soup. This is a lemon pasta shrimp recipe that is absolutely delicious and very simple. So right now I'm just going to cook up my shrimp. I had some raw shrimp, so it took a little bit longer, but you could use pre-cooked shrimp as well. I'm adding into my olive oil and butter 3 cloves of garlic, and of course a couple pinches of salt and a couple dashes of pepper. Adding in the shrimp. Those took, I would say, maybe 10 minutes to get cooked up. Then I'm going to drain those and put those off to the side. And then for the butter lemon sauce, you're going to use 2 sticks of butter. Yep. And overall over a whole box of pasta. It's not that bad, right? And then you're going to put in the zest from 2 lemons and then the juice from those lemons as well. The dish really has actually kind of a light flavor, I think, with that lemon. Even though there's so much butter, it just feels really light and feels somewhat healthy. I know it's not. And it makes a ton. I used 1 box, and tonight we are only 2 people, so we definitely have enough for tomorrow night, if not a 3rd meal. 3rd dinner. And of course, a couple more pinches of salt, a couple dashes of pepper. Let that simmer for a little bit. I'm just cooking up the pasta according to the package. I used angel hair. The original recipe I was inspired by was a Ina Garten recipe, and she used capellini. I couldn't find capellini, so I used angel hair. Angel hair only takes about 4 minutes to cook. Now I'm just adding in the pasta directly from the pasta water. I'm not draining it beforehand because I actually end up using a couple scoops full of that water and add that to the mixture just for a little more liquid. And now I'm just getting it all nice and mixed up. That lemon flavor is spectacular. I love this. I could make this every week, and it's really, really easy. So yeah, that is the lemon pasta shrimp recipe. Thanks for watching this week's Meal Ideas video. I hope you got some ideas to feed your family.